Square Media and 106.1 KISS FM proudly bring to you your podcast champions of the world. He's the R to the O to the B. I'm STEVE. We are your hosts with the most, bringing you everything wrestling related from post to post.
That's right. I love that. Gets me fired up like nothing else. And today's episode is going to be kind of what the show was designed to be about in the first place. Okay. Just kind of discussing wrestling news, all the happenings in the world of wrestling, whether they be on screen or off screen. Lots has happened over the past couple of days I think is worth talking about.
Yeah.
So I've got a few topics here, Steve. In fact, you want to throw out the first one?
Sting's retirement. Is he retired? Is he not?
Okay, so there were reports earlier in the week about Sting is going to announce his retirement at the WWE Hall of Fame the night before WrestleMania. Then yesterday or the day before, Sting releases his own comment, "Don't believe what you're reading, I'm not retiring." No. If you want me to be totally honest, I believe what I'm reading. I think Sting is retiring. I think the announcement will happen at the Hall of Fame, and I think there's a potential for maybe one more match. Yeah. But I think that for the most part he's done. And to be honest with you, I don't consider that very much of a news story because he was pretty much retired anyway. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. He hasn't been having a lot of matches. I know he hurt his neck in a match with Seth Rollins. But I don't know that. I mean, he could have had a match at this year's WrestleMania, but I don't see him having 5 televised matches even without his neck being injured. Yeah. So yes, I think he's pretty much done, with the exception of possibly one more match. I do think by the end of WrestleMania we will know more about his status. What do you think?
I think he's going to retire. I think maybe he kind of tried to overshadow the breaking news because maybe he thought it lost its cachet if he wasn't the one to break it.
Yeah, I think he wanted to break it himself at the Hall of Fame, and people popped his balloon.
Yeah, and so I think he's trying to cover up that, but I do think he's done. I don't even know if he has another match in him. I would like to see him get one win with WWE, but I don't know if that was ever in the cards. Okay,
potentially. So yeah, we'll find out more, by this time in 2 weeks for sure. Yeah. We'll know a little bit more about that. Here's one for you. What about Monday night? Luke Harper apparently goes down with an injury in a Raw Dark match after the show.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard about this?
I've heard a little bit about it. I didn't know exactly what happened, but I've seen that he's been injured. So
what's your take on this? How devastating is this? Is he out for a long time? What do you make of this?
I really need to know more about it. He doesn't have a program going into WrestleMania, so I don't think it's too devastating. I mean, to him personally, yeah, any kind of injury is a setback, but he doesn't have an ongoing program right now, so.
I believe if Bray Wyatt weren't injured, he would be in a match with Brock Lesnar at this year's WrestleMania. Yeah. And now Bray is cleared to wrestle, so I do believe that possibly as soon as the night after WrestleMania, if not WrestleMania itself, we're going to see Bray Wyatt incorporated in a program probably with Brock. Okay. You do want your Wyatt family holding up strong, but you're right. This is kind of a sideline character, a peripheral character, and it's not going to be completely devastating that it's going to ruin the Bray Wyatt future plans, I feel like. Yeah. But it is just the latest in a long line of what has been really devastating injuries for the company. Yeah. And that's a real shame. I mean, the past year, you could say 2015 and 2016 has been the year of the devastating injuries.
Yeah, since last WrestleMania, that year is. So.
Look at the way that all these injuries have impacted WrestleMania. Yeah. It's crazy to the point where they don't know. They're running around like chickens with their heads cut off, about this. So that was one that I wanted to ask you about. Do you have anything else? You have another topic?
Bobby Roode and Eric Young leaving TNA and the potential that they come to NXT or WWE.
But I feel like TNA is such a dead entity right now. There's kind of been a mass exodus. I know former champion Ken Kennedy has left. Now Bobby Roode, who seems to have been a lifer, apparently. Eric Young, another one who seemed like a lifer, has left. These are a sign of the times. TNA is not. It's on life support, if you ask me. It's on Destination America, for God's sakes. I don't even get that on my cable. Yeah, I feel like the potential for them to go to WWE or NXT is totally there. In fact, Bobby Roode already has a relationship with NXT. He seemed to really enjoy it. Yeah. I think he'd be more than welcome back. And I think that you could definitely see them in WWE. What do you think?
Back in TNA's heyday, Bobby Roode was always somebody I could see being a WWE guy. So I kind of hope to see him. And as much as I'd like to see him, even if it's just an NXT, I hope I don't see Eric Young.
Eric Young is probably worn out his welcome, I feel like. He had his appeal, but I never got him. I kind of agree with you. Yeah. Not one of my favorites. Bobby Roode isn't bad. But, I feel like Eric Young would not have a good place on WWE's main roster. Sure. And I had one more topic I wanted to throw at you. I wrote it down. Oh, yes. This is what I want to talk to you about. I keep reading rumors about the brand extension returning.
Oh, my goodness.
Your thoughts on this? Will it happen, and should it happen?
If the Shane McMahon storyline continues and he gets control of Raw, I guess it's inevitable.
It does feel that way, doesn't it?
It does.
But I feel like... Go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't want to see it. I wasn't a fan of it the first time.
Yeah, I don't like when they have this brand exclusivity. It makes both brands feel weaker to me. I know that the goal is to build more stars and have more angles. The problem is their track record doesn't do that. Yeah. They had their opportunity before. I mean, after they got out of that first year of the brand extension, SmackDown was the B show again. And then, it becomes totally crappy when, remember when it was kind of phasing out the brand extension and, the Raw became a super show?
Yes.
Where you could see the stars from both shows?
Yes.
Boy, how unspecial was that?
Very.
So I am firmly against the brand extension, and I hope that it doesn't wind up happening. Now, here's my question to you. Will it happen?
I want to say it will. I don't want to say it will. I believe it will. I don't want it to happen.
Yeah, I agree completely.
If they do it, they have to do it right, which they didn't do the first time. SmackDown has to be treated as good as Raw. It has to be live, and they have to have equal talent. So, I mean, if they can do that, then maybe I'll get excited about it.
Plus, let's not forget this: with the state of the company right now, if you're splitting the roster, you're going to have 2-week rosters. All your big stars are out; they're injured. I know some are coming back soon, but you need to have a deeper roster to have 2 of them. Yeah. So there you go. Those are some of the things happening in the world of wrestling that we wanted to talk about. You can tell it's time to wrap things up when Layla starts getting antsy. So for myself, the Rob, and my tag team partner Steve,
everybody's got a price. Everybody's gonna pay.